Hi everyone, I'm Loris. I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Snorkel. The Snorkel team is currently out in South Africa for our CTO Jane's wedding, but we're really sorry that we can't be there in person with you today. I hope that I've been able to chat with some of you virtually at the demo stations earlier, and now really excited to introduce you overall to the Snorkel proposition. At Snorkel, we build AI agents specialized in credit and collections. So today I'm going to initially focus on our flagship product, which is our customer-facing AI collections agents with both chat and voice capability, but we'll also talk through some of our internal co-pilots to support internal collections teams, as well as a variety of wider use cases that we've been developing with the BMP team across complaints, customer service, and new lending journeys. So from our team's experience working within lending and debt advice, we know that low customer self-serve creates a lot of challenges for customers, but also their creditors. And we've learned about how this impacts the BMP business over our time during the program. From a customer experience perspective, we know that at the moment with Creation Finance, self-serve is limited to relatively simple scenarios like payments, without much ability to handle more complex cases like forbearance. And from a consumer duty perspective, which we know the business cares a lot about, this can create challenges for customers with different channel needs, including vulnerable customers that might want to make declarations digitally. And as well as a customer experience and consumer duty perspective, we know how important collections is to financial performance. From your annual report covering both your unsecured products and your motor finance, in 2023 we could see that you wrote off 75 million in bad debt. So the size of the financial opportunity is really significant. And we know that collections also has a really significant impact operationally, with a team of around 50 agents split across the UK and South Africa, who are obviously limited to certain working hours, as well as third-party DCAs. And we know that this is the case in collections, but similar sorts of challenges across digital support are also present within broader customer servicing and complaints. How can Snorkel help BNP Paribas? Well, based on some of our data from our existing clients, there's potentially the opportunity to save around 15 million annually by reducing your bad debt write-offs by 20% across both your unsecured and motor businesses. We can also help you reduce your cost to collect by around 50% by increasing the number of customers that self-serve and reducing pressure on your internal operations and third-party DCAs. And we can also help you protect your brand, both with customers, clients, and the regulator, through consistent and compliant digital support available 24/7. And whilst we're a relatively new business, we're already developing a really exciting track record across multiple sector case studies, including unsecured lending and motor finance, with additional really exciting metrics, including over half of our product usage being outside of working hours, and vulnerabilities currently being detected in around 20% of interactions. And alongside our case studies, we're also starting to receive some really strong external validation, winning the best technology demonstration at this year's Credit and Collections Technology Awards, and also through our work with the FCA as one of 8 companies selected to work with them through their AI live testing program. I'm now going to give you a demo of our customer-facing AI collections agent that's been trained and styled for Creation Finance. Snorkel helps you engage more of your customers. Our intelligent comms engine can power your outbound communications across email, SMS, app notification, or WhatsApp, and our assistant can then be embedded seamlessly into your journey, available 24/7 to support your customers, particularly those that find it too nervous to engage with the person or find it inconvenient. Snorkel can help you give personalised support to your customers digitally. Our AI can be trained on your policies and procedures. And in this demo, you can see Snorkel start to answer questions specifically related to Creation Finance around your Flex proposition. Once Snorkel's answered the customer's question, it also knows the right questions to ask this customer to triage them to a relevant forbearance option. And Snorkel can even identify vulnerabilities, as in this scenario, where the user mentions a bereavement in passing, and Snorkel's able to identify it and give tailored support. Snorkel could help this user set up a solution right away here, or if the situation requires, Snorkel can take the user through an AI-enabled income and expenditure or handover to your existing tooling. And within our journey, this income and expenditure can be filled out through form, chat, or voice, with the supportive assistant there the whole way. as we skip through this income and expenditure. Finally, Snorkel can then set up that user with a full range of forbearance options, or whatever the relevant choice is for that customer. And here you can see Snorkel works out, based on that disposable income, how much that user can afford to pay on a repayment plan. And it then sets them up with that plan for 3 months. So I hope this shows you how Snorkel can take a user through quite a complex end-to-end journey without a human and at a time that suits them. And finally, here's how Snorkel can empower your team. Every single interaction is captured with clear profiles, next steps, and real-time insights, helping your human agents resolve tough cases faster, and also supported by Snorkel's AI Copilot, which I'll show you in a second, that can help users work out things like installments, answer questions about policies and procedures, and even draft customer emails, improving your human agent's efficiency and quality of their outputs. So how does Snorkel work technically? With AI agents, context and specific prompting are everything to get high quality responses. So what we've designed is a team of specialized agents that always work together to respond to a user. And you can see an example here on this slide. When the user gives a message to Snorkel, it's first picked up by a team lead or orchestrator. This team lead calls on some specialists, for example, a vulnerability specialist and a data specialist, to give it all the context it needs to give that user a high quality response. That team lead then picks a final support agent that's specialized in the type of query that the user has entered. And that's how Snorkel gives an answer that feels human-like, is accurate, and has strong guardrails and traceability. The Snorkel product is both secure and easy to integrate into the BNP Paribas private cloud. So the diagram on the right-hand side shows our architecture dropped into the BNP infrastructure. We've built our product so it's easy to integrate really quickly. We have a lighter data sharing model, which allows you to pilot quickly before integrating more deeply. And we've integrated with full loan management systems in the past in under a month. We have a container-ready architecture, which means we can be dropped straight onto your IBM private cloud and integrate easily into Java-centric systems. And the bottom yellow box shows how we can integrate either into your LLMs hosted on your side or using Snorkel-hosted models. But either way, no customer data is ever used to train third-party LLMs. So what are our reflections on the Innovation Lab and what's next for Snorkel? So one of the big takeaways from the Innovation Lab and what we've enjoyed working with most with the BNP team is that really I think collections is just the start for Snorkel. The team has helped to identify a really wide range of use cases across operations, commercial and beyond. And we think there's a really big opportunity for Snorkel to be your partner for agentic customer service and engagement. And I'm going to run through 2 use cases which we've started to develop with the broader team. Starting off with operations, Snorkel's infrastructure could be used to manage a complaints journey, improving efficiency and customer experience. In an example here, you can see that a customer has agreed a payment plan over the phone, but Creation Finance hasn't taken that payment. So Snorkel's infrastructure can firstly identify and acknowledge the receipt of that complaint instantly. It can then check for a vulnerability and start to tailor a response to the user, including tagging, prioritizing, and routing that complaint to the right handler. But really excitingly, Snorkel can also work out, is this the sort of complaint that it can actually resolve straight away? And in this example, Snorkel has checked that user's account and they've identified that a payment plan should have been set up based on the customer notes and offers the ability for that customer to set that payment plan up immediately. And then moving on to a commercial example, you can see here how Snorkel can be used within actually an originations journey to make a debt consolidation journey faster and clearer for a user. First of all, a debt consolidation journey can be quite painful for a user with lots of data to enter. And Snorkel can make this much easier using voice inputs to pre-populate long forms, reducing effort for that user and reducing drop-off for Creation Finance. But as well as improving conversion, Snorkel can also improve customer understanding. And you can see how Snorkel can interact with the user here to explain concepts, benefits, and risks, like impacts to their interest paid and their monthly payments in flexible and user-friendly language. So thanks very much for listening to our run through of Snorkel today. We're really excited to continue the partnership. We see lots of potential value both on your bottom line, but also for your customer benefits from our flagship collections product. But what really excites us is that opportunity to scale AI agents more broadly across your operational and commercial journeys. Thanks very much.